This time of year, my greenhouse is a very popular place. It's popular for all of my tropical and tender plants and anything that I'm starting from seed, and it's a popular place for me to hang out because it's the best place for me to get my hands in the soil and do a little gardening. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm getting ready to do some lettuce planting. But I want to tell you that this greenhouse serves many purposes. I have several plants that I love to grow and have had for years, such as my Myers lemon, the bay trees I have here, and the agapanthus that I typically have blooming around the center circle here at the Garden Home Retreat. Now, what I'm doing today is I'm getting some little lettuce started. I'm using this one called Tom Thumb. It's one of the butterhead lettuces, which I absolutely adore. And what I'm doing is I'm going to drop just a couple of seed in each one of these little cell packs, okay? And all I do is just drop them in like this. You get the idea. And then I'll come back with just a 1/4 inch of soil over the top of them, all right? Water them in. In about 10 days, this will be solid green with little seedlings of lettuce. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind if you're growing some of your own vegetables. I like to recycle, but if you recycle some of these little cell packs, you want to make sure from season to season you drop them into a solution of water and bleach. It takes just a little bit of bleach. So say a number 9 wash tub, fill it up, put about 3 tablespoons of bleach in there, and then you can drop these in for an hour or so, lift them out, rinse them off, and you've destroyed all the pathogens that might be on them. I also do that with my clay pots as well. Now, once these little lettuce plants come up, they get several leaves on them, I can transplant them out into the garden. And one way to help with that transition is to use a frost blanket. In fact, this past fall, late in the season, I planted lettuce, chard, even sweet peas, and covered them with a frost blanket. And it was amazing how long I was able to harvest vegetables in the garden. You see, the frost blanket gives these plants a little advantage, and so you can extend the growing season. Now, let me talk to you about a couple other little advantages that you may want to think about. You can see that I have these cell packs in this plastic saucer, if you will. What this does is it helps me hold moisture within this little compound, all right? Because consistent moisture is really important. What I have here are 72 little cell packs, so I'll have 72 little plugs of lettuce to put out in the garden. And then you can also find these covers that can sit on top of it just like this, and this will also help raise the humidity as the little seedlings come up, which is another advantage. So in effect, what you've done is you've created a little greenhouse within a greenhouse. Now, another thing I want you to think about is soil. You really need to use a good potting soil. In fact, there are soils blended for starting seedlings, and these make a lot of sense. So don't try to use soil out of the garden or even soil you used last year. It's best to start with fresh soil.